Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of music theory to unlock the secrets of parallel minors. Whether you're a seasoned musician or just starting your musical journey, understanding parallel minors can add incredible depth and color to your compositions and improvisations. So, grab your instrument, your notepad, or simply your curiosity, and let's embark on this exciting musical adventure together. In the realm of music theory, every major key has a corresponding minor key, its relative minor, that we often explore. But there's another more intriguing counterpart lurking in the shadows, the parallel minor. Unlike the relative minor, which shares the same key signature but starts on a different root note, the parallel minor shares the same starting note, the tonic, as its major counterpart. This means that a C major scale and a C minor scale are considered parallel keys. They exist in tandem, offering a completely different flavor and emotional palette while sharing a common root. By tapping into the parallel minor, we unlock a whole new world of harmonic possibilities and emotional depth. To truly understand the power of the parallel minor, we need to first grasp its fundamental difference from the relative minor. As we've established, both major and parallel minor keys share the same tonic, that anchor note that gives the key its name. C major and C minor, for instance, both revolve around the note C. However, their personalities diverge dramatically when we look at their structure. A major scale follows a specific pattern of whole and half steps, creating its characteristic bright and cheerful sound. The parallel minor, on the other hand, takes a different route, altering the positions of those half steps to create a darker, more melancholic feel. By simply shifting from a major key to its parallel minor, we can instantly transform the emotional landscape of a piece of music. While parallel majors and minors share a starting note, they part ways when it comes to their key signatures. This is where things get really interesting, as it's this difference in key signatures that allows us to access a treasure trove of borrowed chords. C major, our friendly neighborhood key, has no sharps or flats in its key signature. C minor, however, throws in 3 flats, B flat, E flat, and A flat, giving it a distinctly different flavor. These flats are crucial because they introduce notes not typically found in the C major scale. And it's these foreign notes, borrowed from the parallel minor, that allow us to create unique and colorful chords that add depth and complexity to our compositions. This, in essence, is the magic of borrowing from the parallel minor, the ability to introduce unexpected twists and turns. By venturing into the realm of the parallel minor, we unlock a treasure chest of harmonic possibilities. We gain access to 3 primary chords, the tonic, subdominant, and dominant chords, each with its own distinct flavor and function. But the real magic happens when we start to experiment with the minor versions of these chords. Suddenly, our musical palette expands to include chords like the minor subdominant, IV, and the minor dominant, V, each adding a unique shade of darkness and complexity to our compositions. Imagine, for instance, a simple progression in C major C, F, G, C. Now let's borrow the minor subdominant from C minor, replacing the F major with an F minor. The result? A hauntingly beautiful shift in mood, a touch of melancholy that adds depth and intrigue to the otherwise cheerful progression. We've talked about the parallel minor key, but the real fun begins when we start borrowing chords from it to use in our major key compositions. This technique, known as modal interchange, might sound complicated, but it's really just about adding splashes of color to our musical canvas. Borrowing chords from the parallel minor is like adding those spices to our music. We're not changing the fundamental recipe. The major key still provides the base, but we're enhancing it, making it more nuanced, more interesting. These borrowed chords introduce notes not typically found in the major scale, creating a sense of surprise and intrigue. They add a touch of darkness, a hint of mystery, a depth of emotion that wouldn't be possible otherwise. One of the most commonly borrowed chords from the parallel minor is the minor subdominant. In the key of C major, for instance, the subdominant chord is F major. But if we borrow from C minor, we get F minor, a subtle shift with a profound impact. While the F major chord feels stable and resolved, the F minor chord introduces a touch of yearning, a sense of longing. This chord is particularly effective when used to replace the major subdominant in a 2VI progression. In C major, this would typically be D minor, G major, C major. But by substituting the D minor with D minor from the C minor scale, we get a richer, more complex sound. Think of it as a plot twist in your musical narrative, a moment of suspense that keeps the audience on the edge of their seats. Another powerful chord we can borrow from the parallel minor is the minor dominant. In C major, the dominant chord is G major, but by borrowing from C minor, we get G minor, a chord that injects a shot of intensity and anticipation. The G minor chord, with its minor third and flatted seventh, creates a stronger pull towards the tonic, heightening the tension and drama of a musical phrase. This chord is particularly effective when used in blues and rock music, where that added tension and release are key elements of the genre's emotional impact. Imagine, for example, a tender ballad in C major. By substituting the G major chord with G minor, we introduce a hint of heartache, a moment of vulnerability that adds depth and emotional resonance. While the minor subdominant and minor dominant are the most commonly borrowed chords from the parallel minor, we're not limited to just these two. We can also borrow seventh chords, adding even more color and complexity to our musical palette. For instance, in the key of C major, we could borrow the C minor seventh chord from C minor. This chord, with its minor seventh interval, adds a touch of sophistication and melancholy. We can also experiment with borrowing other seventh chords from the parallel minor, such as the minor seventh flat 5, also known as the half-diminished chord, which adds a particularly eerie and unsettling quality. The possibilities are vast, and the key is to experiment and trust your ears. Remember, music theory is a guide, not a set of rigid rules. The ultimate goal is to create something that moves you, something that expresses your unique musical voice. Now that we've explored the theory behind borrowing chords from the parallel minor, let's dive into the real world and see how these techniques come to life in popular music. You'll be amazed to discover how often these borrowed chords appear in your favorite songs, adding subtle yet profound layers of emotion and complexity. From the Beatles' timeless melodies to Michael Jackson's infectious grooves, borrowing from the parallel minor has been a secret weapon for songwriters across genres. So get ready to hear your favorite songs in a whole new light as we uncover the magic of parallel minors in action. Let's start our journey with one of the most iconic songs of all time, Yesterday by the Beatles. This seemingly simple ballad, composed by Paul McCartney, is a masterclass in using borrowed chords to evoke a sense of longing and nostalgia. The song is in the key of G major, but in the second line of the verse, we encounter a surprise in F minor chord, borrowed from the parallel minor key of G minor. This single borrowed chord changes the entire emotional landscape of the song. The F minor chord introduces a sense of melancholy that perfectly complements the lyrical themes of loss and regret. It's a subtle but powerful touch that adds depth and complexity to an otherwise straightforward melody. Yesterday demonstrates how even a single borrowed chord can transform a song, adding layers of meaning and emotion. Next, let's groove to Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, a song that masterfully utilizes the minor subdominant to create its signature infectious rhythm. The song is primarily in the key of a minor, but it cleverly borrows the D minor chord from the parallel minor key of A major. This borrowed D minor chord appears as the second chord in the verse, replacing the expected D major chord. This simple substitution creates a subtle yet profound shift in the music's energy. The D minor chord introduces a sense of tension and anticipation that propels the song forward. It adds a touch of darkness and mystery, perfectly complementing the song's intriguing lyrics and Michael Jackson's signature vocal delivery. This song is a prime example of how borrowing from the parallel minor can add a unique flavor to a song, even within a minor key. Our next stop takes us to the sun-drenched world of the Eagles' Hotel California, a song renowned for its evocative lyrics and haunting guitar work. While the song's iconic 12-string guitar intro is in B minor, It quickly transitions to a captivating progression that borrows heavily from the parallel minor key of B major. The verse progression moves from G major to D major, then to M7 and back to G major. This progression borrows the D major chord from B major, creating a shimmering, bittersweet quality that perfectly complements the song's themes of longing and disillusionment. Hotel California demonstrates how borrowing chords from the parallel minor can create a sense of ambiguity and mystery. The interplay between the major and minor chords creates a captivating sonic landscape that draws the listener in and leaves a lasting impression. Section 5. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen Melodic Minor Masterpiece. No exploration of borrowed chords would be complete without paying homage to Queen's magnum opus, Bohemian Rhapsody. This epic track is a masterclass in musical storytelling, seamlessly weaving together various genres and harmonic ideas, including brilliant use of borrowed chords from the parallel minor. The song is primarily in E-flat major, but it ventures into the parallel minor key of E-flat minor in several key sections. For example, the iconic Galileo section features a haunting progression that moves from C minor to F minor, borrowing the F minor chord from E-flat minor. This borrowed F minor chord adds a dramatic flair to the progression, creating a sense of urgency and tension that perfectly underscores the operatic vocals. It's a moment of pure musical brilliance that showcases Freddie Mercury's incredible vocal range and Queen's innovative approach to songwriting. Throughout Bohemian Rhapsody, Queen masterfully interweaves chords from the parallel minor, creating a sonic tapestry that's both epic and emotionally resonant. The song is a testament to the power of understanding music theory and using it to break boundaries and create truly groundbreaking music. Harmonizing your creativity. Practical tips for using parallel minors. Now that we've journeyed through the theoretical and practical applications of parallel minors, it's time to empower you to integrate these techniques into your own musical creations. Remember, music theory is a tool to unlock your creative potential, not a set of restrictive rules. The key is to experiment, to trust your ears, and to let your musical intuition guide you. Start by identifying the emotional landscape you want to create in your music. Do you want to evoke a sense of longing, mystery, or perhaps a touch of darkness? Once you have a clear vision, you can start experimenting with borrowed chords from the parallel minor to achieve that desired effect. Remember, even a single borrowed chord can dramatically alter the feel of a progression. Don't be afraid to break the rules and try unconventional chord voicings or progressions. Some of the most captivating music arises from pushing boundaries and discovering new sonic possibilities. Exercises for the aspiring composer. Training your ears and fingers. Hands-on practice is key. Start with a simple major chord progression like C or F, G or C. Substitute the F major chord with F minor. Listen to the difference. Repeat with other keys. Choose a song, analyze its chords, and experiment with substitutions. Set a backing track and improvise using both major and parallel minor scales. Practice makes progress. The more you play, the more intuitive it becomes. From theory to practice, integrating borrowed chords in your musical vocabulary. Integrating borrowed chords from the parallel minor into your musical vocabulary is a journey, not a destination. It's about developing a deep understanding of how these chords function and how they can be used to enhance your musical expression. Start by incorporating these techniques into your songwriting and composition process. Experiment with different chord progressions, using borrowed chords to create unique and compelling harmonic movements. Don't limit yourself to just one genre or style. As we've seen, borrowed chords from the parallel minor are prevalent in a wide range of musical styles, from classical to jazz to pop. Most importantly, have fun and allow yourself to be creative. Music theory is a tool to help you express yourself, so don't be afraid to break the mold and discover your own unique sound. Remember, the most captivating music often comes from pushing boundaries and exploring uncharted sonic territory. So, go forth and create something extraordinary. Unlocking musicality. Your journey into parallel minors begins. Understanding parallel minors and their borrowed chords can enhance your musical vocabulary and creativity. Music theory provides tools to express your unique voice. Mastering parallel minors takes time, practice, and curiosity. Embrace the journey and experiment with the concepts. Every stumble is an opportunity to learn and grow. Now, unlock the magic of parallel minors. Dive into your own musical explorations and discover the depth they bring. Thank you for joining me on this musical adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss future uploads. Until next time, keep creating and exploring.